Good evening, you guys. Welcome to Midweek Motivation. Um, I am so sorry. I usually have I know this light right here is going to go out on me, so I'll take that light out. Excuse me. I usually have the show at 7. There was one of those days, right? And so I was not able to get the show the way that I wanted it and have it on time. It just was one of those days. But I thought, I said, you know what? I'm obligated to do this. I need to go ahead and get it done. So I want to welcome you guys. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching me on Fat and Fabulous by Design on Facebook, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I'm supposed to be in another show right now, but I decided to do. I had to get this done. I wanted to get this done today. So I hope you guys had an opportunity to kind of look at what the show description says tonight. We're going to talk about our energy. Maybe I need to talk about it out loud because, look, I'm going through some things, right? My energy might feel like it's drained. Let me get this light out. There we go. There we go. Now, sometimes, you got to do those adjustments, right? So I wanted to kind of stop by. Let me see if I can do this right here. Um, let's see. I wanted to do something else here. I think I saw myself do it before, but anyway, um, that's all right. So anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to Midweek Motivation. This is Wednesday, October the 29th. We are in the last part of October. You guys, October came in. I was saying this earlier. Came in, looked around, did not like what it said, and you'll see, and left. Just said, "Man, I'm done. I'm done." Like it just like left, right? Um, uh, Friday is the 31st. And Saturday is the 1st of November, you guys. Can you really believe that already? Um, it's just crazy. And but as I said, we're going into a new month, so the new month gives us an opportunity to look at things differently. The new month gives us an opportunity to say, you know what? Let's try something different. Okay, let's try something that's going to definitely change how we look at perspectives on stuff. And I know there's a lot going on in our world, and nationally, locally, and well, not worldwide. There's a lot going on, and I know we try so hard not to get involved in it, right? We really do. But we do understand if you have an empathetic heart, if you have an empathetic spirit, it does affect you. Okay, it's something we can't prevent. It does affect how we look at things from and how it kind of affects our lives, our everyday lives. There's a lot of people who are off work. Okay, in the midst of all of this, I say, me as the person I am, I want us to be able to have joy, but I do understand that there's sadness in a lot of this, a lot of things that are going on. I know that everything is not going to be the same. I get that. I promise you guys, I get that. But I'm not here for the doom and gloom. I'm here to kind of get you through this part of what's happening when it comes to you as a person, when it comes to mothers, when it comes to wives, when it comes to teachers, when it comes to all these people that this actually affects, um, and how we have to figure out a way to continue to do the things that we do. We have to figure out a way to continue seeing that this is not the end, right? This is not, I'm sorry, this is not the end. Things will get better. And we're going to be able to do the things that we need to do. I'm not saying everything is going to go back to um, the normal way of doing things, but this change, this shift that we're in, um, I think it's going to give a lot of us an opportunity to kind of really look at ourselves, self reflect, look at what we're doing right or wrong in the things that we believe in. our belief systems. How is our belief systems working for us? You know what I'm saying? Um, and are they working for us? Do we need to look at things like in a whole different mindset? You know what I'm saying? So this is why, and this is why I say what I'm saying. In understanding that I'm not. I think we shouldn't ignore what's going on out in the world, but I want to make this an area where you don't have to feel like I'm going to bog you down with a lot of negative or a lot of things that are going to affect. I think at the end of the day, how we view things, how we take it in, has a lot to do with how we react to it, right? Okay. Um, so um, I wanted to make this show to talk about checking in. I also have a Substack uh, post or website. And yesterday was energy check day. I think yesterday or today. Today, I think it was today, was energy check day. And I definitely want to share some stuff off there that I think we should do. Checking in on our energy. How do we feel about it? Um, are we where we're supposed to be with our energy? Or are we getting worse? I mean, as far as um, are things getting better for us, or is it, getting worse? What is it that we're not doing, or what is it that we are doing to make sure that things are looking in the direction that they need to for us? I think lots of times um, we want to have a positive outlook on things, really do, but sometimes that's not feasible. I'm just saying it could be, but sometimes it's not feasible to have that outlook that you want. But I also think, also too, that it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's nothing wrong with um, not having that. If that's how you feel, um, and if that's what brings you to make the decisions that you make, right? Um, so let's get into this real quick. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm trying to see what I got here. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, um, I'm trying to find something in here. There we go. Okay. So when I wrote my Substack post yesterday, and I wrote it at a time when I thought it was a need for it to be written. Um, I talked about feeling draining. The question I asked was, "What's draining you?" And what's feeding you. Okay. And so I thought that it would be interesting to kind of talk about some things that we can do when we feel drained. And lots of times for me, what I do is when I feel drained, I actually go get in the bed. I know that's a sign of maybe depression. Okay. Um, and because of that, I think that might that's for me that might be the reason why I do it, is because there's a time when, yeah, my energy gets low and I just think that I need to rest, and I need to make sure that when I'm resting, that that's what I'm doing, and I'm not doing anything else, because we have this thing where we have to have our instruments in our hands, and we got to do this, we got to do that, instead of just resting. So lots of times when my energy is drained, I rest. I shut down and I rest. I close doors. I close shades. I close curtains. and I just rest. And believe it or not, the schedule I have myself on, I have a schedule where I actually I do my readings. I also read tarot. Okay. So what I do is I read um, both my scheduled tarots on Wednesdays. This is my more of my Wednesday regimen that I do. And after I finish doing my last reading, I actually go and lay back down before my 7 o'clock show, which is Talk Shop Live here. And then when I come off of here, I have another show that I do. I'm on another podcast. But today I kind of switched it up a little bit. I was kind of overwhelmed. So I decided to lay down my regular time. And I thought I was ready for my 7 o'clock show, but I wasn't. Mentally or emotionally, I was not ready. So I decided to definitely step back and I said, okay, I'm going to rest a little bit more and I'm going to take some more time. And I felt like this. I said, well, I'm not going to do a show at all. Then I thought, no, you're obligated to do this. So you either have to pick another time to do it or you pick another time to do it. So this actually gave me more time to kind of look at things, kind of calm my nerves and get myself back to me. So then I said, okay, so I'll just schedule the show for 8:45. That'll give me plenty of time to do all the things I need to do. And I got a little bit more rest in the process. I actually, you would not believe I did what I did in this little time. I actually was able to cook for the dogs as we cook for our dogs. Please don't look at us crazy. Our dogs almost eat as many as the same meals as we do. Not to say we eat dog food, but we actually cook for our dogs, like real food. Um, so I was able to cook for them, and and I was able to cook for them, do everything I need to do for them, and then come back here and set everything up for tonight's show. So, and I felt better, and I feel better, right? So giving myself that time really, really helped me a lot. And that's when I realized, like I said, um, I guess we do definitely need to know the difference between depression and energy being drained. Um, I'll say mine is probably, I said the concept of depression, I think it's a combination of both. That's what I think was today, was the combination of both me being a little bit depressed and then also my energy being drained. And you know what it is too? A lot of it is my screen time. I'm just going to say, I don't know about you guys, but I think a lot of it is my screen time. Me pulling away, and sometimes during the daytime, I will pull away from this, close it all the way down, and just go lay down, relax, get some, get my marbles back together, right? And I think we all deserve that, and that's why it's so important to pay attention to what your energy levels are. So I'm going to share with you sort of like an exercise that you can do. Um, because in my post, I talked about all the things that can happen that can definitely drain you of your energy. The people in your life can drain you, your dog, your cat, breakups, money loss, financial job loss, all this kind of things, all these type of issues can definitely drain you. And sometimes people do not know how to handle their when their energy goes low. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how, okay, is there a way that I don't say there's a cure for it, but I do think it's a way it can be more tolerable. Can I say like that? It's more tolerable. So I'm going to share with you here some things that we can definitely do um, when we get to the point of being drained just a little bit. Okay, so this is something I would like for you to do. Okay. Um, First thing to do, and we're going to do like a breathing exercise. So the first thing to do is inhale air into your lungs, right? And then you're going to count to 5 slowly. And then you're going to exhale. You can do 5 on the exhale also, okay? And I would like for you to do that 5 times. And then once you do it, sit still just for a moment. I know it's chaos going around. I know the kids are hollering, the dogs are barking, the husband is, I know, I'm not anywhere that you are that you can do this, okay? Um, your boss is calling you, the phone is ringing, all this is going on, but you need to do this, okay? Just imagining yourself doing this 5 times. 5 in, 5 out. 5 in, make sure it's going into your lungs and it's coming back out your nose. Say it again. Do it again. Do it 5 times, okay? And counting to 5 the first time, and counting to 5 inhale and count to 5 exhale. Okay? The next thing I want you to do, and I want you to actually, if you can if you're able to journal after you do this. And find out, kind of measure how you're feeling when you do that. I think doing it first, journal first, and then do this, and then journal afterwards. Okay? Try doing it that way. Okay? The next thing I would like to see you do is give yourself a hug. You're like, what? I'm not hugging myself. I don't. Hug yourself. Get yourself in a real tight hug and just hug yourself. Okay? Hug yourself for 2 minutes if you can. You have your phone. You can time it. Put your timer on 2 minutes and just hug yourself. Don't say nothing, just hug yourself. Now, in that process of you hugging yourself for those 2 minutes, I said don't say nothing, but you can. I would like for you to tell yourself how you appreciate yourself. Tell yourself how you love yourself and how you how your life would not be the way it is if you did not care for yourself. Pick out of those things what would sound like for you to say this to yourself while you're hugging yourself. You're only going to do it for 2 minutes, okay? Also, tell yourself how grateful for, I don't know if I said that or not, but tell yourself how grateful you are for all the things that are going on in your life, good and bad. Now, I'm not saying say this out loud. I'm saying say it to yourself. Because, like, if you're in an office setting and you're sitting at your cubicle and you start saying this stuff out loud, people will probably think you're gone. And they're probably going to be thinking you're gone anyway, with you hugging yourself. But look, let me tell you something. It's not about being embarrassed, okay? It's not. It's about you in a moment, of self-care. That's what it is. It's about you in a moment of help, what is needed mentally and emotionally, self-care. Okay? Then the next thing I would like to see you do, and you probably can't do this at the office, but you can probably do it at home. I would like for you to stand or sit in the mirror, wherever you're at, okay, and look at yourself. I'm not just saying look at yourself just to be sitting there dumbfounded, just looking at yourself, but truly look at yourself. And I want you to um, find some affirmations that you can say, or one affirmation that you can say to yourself 7 times while you're looking at yourself in the mirror. It could deal with being grateful. It could be dealing with love. It could be dealing with your loving yourself. Anything that you think that will make you feel better about yourself, that's what you say 7 times to yourself while looking in the mirror. And you're like, oh, that's far fetched. I'm not going to do none of that. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just trying to help you come to a point where you understand how important your energy is. I'm trying to get you to understand that your energy is a vital part of how you function in everything that you do. Your energy is not only something that's inside you, it's also the actions that you take. When you think, when you move, it's everything. So your energy is very, 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 very much needed. So that's where I'm trying to get you. Um, it's up to you if that's where you want to go, but that's where I'm trying to get you. And when you're doing that, I also want you to take time out and journal how that made you feel. To sit in that mirror and say an affirmation that makes you feel good about yourself 7 times. These are really small treats, or what we call rituals, that you can do for yourself. I also would like to suggest to you, if you're in an area where you can do this, go outside. Go outside and just stand, breathe, stretch, whatever it is that and it's not even about being cute. It's just you trying to find a way to get that energy back. I also suggest that you read something you love. I'm also going to suggest that you listen to music that you love, to spark that, to push you back into that mode of bringing your energy up. And you're like, well, I got this to do. Don't make excuses, because you know what, baby? When we make excuses for what is going to help us, nothing is going to help us. Okay? So you got to stop making excuses and actually do these things for yourself. It's all right. It's all right if you just take a moment to yourself. Nobody is going to condemn you. Nobody is going to be angry with you. They have to understand, and maybe you need to set rules in place at home to let them know what you're doing. Whenever I'm doing my recordings and when I'm doing my shows and stuff, I have actually, I just have a sticky note on my door, and it says recording now. And I shut my door, and the dogs don't bother me, and my husband don't bother me, because this is my time. This is my time to do whatever I have to do, right? So you might have to set boundaries, because sometimes we don't like setting boundaries. We have this thing about actually setting boundaries with our family members. And if we don't set boundaries, then how are you teaching other people how to set boundaries in the household? If we don't have our own boundaries, how are we helping the other people in the family to have boundaries? Excuse me. What are we doing where other people don't have those boundaries in the family? Even at work, have your boundaries at work. Lots of people don't even eat in the break rooms at work. You know where they do? They go out in their car and sit and eat. Because that's the time when they can actually really do that woosah, and they can do all those things that I just named, because it's not going to take them long to do it. They can even find a 2-minute song, a 3-minute song, and listen to a song. They can find a 5-minute meditation. They're on here, on YouTube, that they do before they go back in that office to get the rest of the day out the way. So there's no excuse for us not having that self-care. There's no excuse, because it can be done anywhere. Okay? It can be done anywhere. And it's up to us to do it. Okay? I remember one time, and I live in a rural area, and I was having a heated argument. And I think it was with my husband. Was it my son? It was my husband. And I was like, just like about to explode, right? I, I think it was, I don't know if it was warm or if it was cool. I think it was cool. You know what I did? I literally walked out the door and took a long walk. When I came back, I didn't feel that anger anymore. This is why I know certain things work. I was drained, and I was angry of the drainage, I guess. So I took a walk. And when I came back, I felt so much better. So much better. So I know what I'm telling you works, not because it worked for me, but I've had these conversations with other people, and they've found different ways of actually doing the same thing. And sometimes you might have to come back, and you might have to um, talk, but in a calmer way. You find other ways of getting the point across without the heatedness in it, right? But I felt so relaxed, it was not even no need for me to say anything else, you know? So these are things that we can do for ourselves. We cannot expect for everybody to adjust to us when we're not willing to adjust to them. So we can't expect for everybody to read our minds and know how we want to handle things, right? Or how we handle things, and they're supposed to adjust to it. No, you have to build the confidence enough to put those boundaries in place. Say, for instance, when you come home in the evening time after a long day of work, right? And if you notice, lots of times with men back in the day when the father was to work and the mother was at home, um, lots of times the father was not disturbed until after dinner. That literally, he came home, he went in the living room, he sat in his chair, he had a TV tray by his chair while mom prepared the meal. She brought his slippers and his house coat, and he sat there, and if he smoked a pipe, she brought his pipe. You guys, that was real. That wasn't just something we saw on TV. It actually really happened. He sat and he watched the news. If it was a baseball game on, he watched the baseball game on. He waited for mom to fix his food. Mom would bring his tray in, and she would sit in front of him, make sure he had everything on his tray that he needed, and he would eat quietly while watching television. Children were not allowed to talk to him. The dog was not allowed to bark at him. Nobody was allowed to touch him until that time was over with. And when he was finished, doing all he did. He took time out and talked to the kids, and he played with the kids. He helped the kids with the homework along with mom. And then he'd go take his bath and he'd go to bed. But mom is still up doing the rest of it, cleaning up the kitchen, making sure the kids had everything. The husband was allowed to regain or refuel, right? But the mother wasn't. And I'm not saying that happened in all houses, households, but a lot of times, by the time she finished with her day, she was drained. And she really didn't have anybody that she could actually, talk to or find ways of doing things because her day was always full. And it still goes on, even with the women working in the kitchen. It still happens. I mean, working in the kitchen, out in the workforce. It still happens. Men still get some of that same treatment. And the mother still struggles doing everything she has to do. And there's no one there to say to her, sit down for a moment, relax, rebuild your energy. And when your energy level is low is when you start getting frustrated. When you start getting frustrated over the tiniest things, that's when you know your energy is low. When you slow down on things that you are doing, you have a deadline in your mind that you have to get done, and you're like, I can't do it. That's when you know that your energy is low. When you're snapping at people, your energy is low. Because that's not normal. You got to understand that's not normal behavior for you. And there's nobody to check on you. There's nobody to say, let me check your energy level. How are you feeling today? You have to do that yourself. And that's why these small, tiny exercises will help you do that. And if you have to do it as many times a day as you need to, do it. It's not in any particular order, it's not in a particular time. Do it whenever you need to do it. When someone makes you angry or makes you feel small, hug yourself. That's the best thing you can do. I was talking to somebody earlier, and they were having a moment. They were trying to, how people don't want to tell you they're having a moment, but they're having a moment. And what I did to that person, because I know that person personally, I start giving them and listing the good things that they've done. That's what you do with your friend. You don't talk to them in a way that brings them down even further. You start talking to them about all the things they've already accomplished. Because you know what? I have friends who do that for me. Whenever I'm in my mode, I have friends who talk to me that way. They remind me of the things that I've already done. So what are you being down for? Why are you feeling this way? Look what you've already done. You know, because a lot of times when you've done so much, you forget that you have accomplished a lot in life. And it might not be a major thing to other people, but it should always be a major thing to you. It should be the greatest accomplishment you've ever done on the list of your accomplishments. That's how you have to look at them. And you should celebrate those things, right? You should celebrate those things. So when your energy is low, take some time out and take these things and use these exercises to get you through. Okay? Because what I notice nowadays, we're more reactive because we're not emotionally intelligent. Okay? And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that to put somebody down, please. I can battle with my emotional intelligence, right? So we snap, we go off, we cuss people out, we want to hurt people, we want to get physical with people over words. And that's another thing that can drain your energy. The way you think can drain your energy. This is why this is more of a mind thing for me, and the emotional part of it. But the mind thing is putting those thoughts in your head about yourself when someone has just ate you up at work, right? Or your husband has, said some terrible things to you, or even your kids, because they seem to watch you and him do it. So they think, hey, I can do it too. And they've said some, why you're not smart like Amy's mother? Why you're not this? Comparing you to someone else's mom or your husband, like, I thought you were listening when I told you I needed you to do this and you didn't even do it. You're not even competent, and you're getting abused verbally, right? You're getting ate up verbally, right? Or your boss says, when are you? And then your boss says it to you at a time when you're standing in the break room with everybody else. Doesn't bring you in the office and talk to you, but he does it in the break room, or she does it in the break room. And to some people might not bother them, but just imagine the people who are humiliated by the way that they spoke to you, right? I'm like this. When I hear somebody hollering at someone else in front of me, I get crushed because that triggers me, and it goes back to our shadow work. We talk about shadow work. That triggers me because I don't like anybody doing that to me. So I kind of put my feet in that person's shoes, and I get embarrassed and I get hurt for that person because I really believe any job that you do, your boss should not talk to you in front of people like a child. If you have an issue with me, take me behind closed doors, because if I had an issue with you, I would ask for us to set up a meeting and so we can go somewhere and talk. I would never do that in front of a whole bunch of people. And I wouldn't be caring about how other people see me or how, oh, they bullied her. No, you say whatever you want because I know my time is coming. I'm not gonna do that. I know my time is coming to handle you, and I'm not gonna do it in front of people because I'm not that type of person. I don't like confrontations. No. So I'm not gonna deal with you on that ladder. I'm going to deal with you when we're one on one. Yeah. And I'm saying that because that is another way of people draining your energy, is making you feel bad about yourself, right? So we don't want to go through that because some people are just, and let's keep this in mind. I'm not just trying to say you need to correct everything about you. Let me not say that. Some people will be the way they are because that's who they are. Let's just bring it out there. Some people are that way because that's exactly who they are. And no one has ever confronted them the way they do other people. And this month is well, I call it anti, but it's bullying prevention month. Some people are just naturally mean. This is not making excuses for them. Please do not get the impression I'm making excuses for them. I'm saying sometimes people's personalities are just that. And what you have to do, because you're not that type of person, you have to learn how to limit your reaction to them. You have to learn how to limit your interaction with those people, even if they are a coworker. Do what you have to do with them, as say if you're on a team together. But you don't have to engage in conversations with them. You don't have to respond unless it's work related to those type of people. You don't have to eat lunch with them. You don't have to do none of that because I'm telling you, it would, if you're not that type of person, they can suck you dry with your energy. They're called energy vampires. And a lot of needy people will drain you. You have to figure out, or you have to recognize Needy people. You have to recognize needy people. Needy people will suck you dry. When I say that, this is not being any type of um, sexual indication. When I say this, I'm saying when I say suck, I'm talking about the energy, your energy out of you. And when you see them coming, you know you want to run the other way because you already know by the end of the day, if you wear wigs, your wigs will be turned that way. Your hair will be sitting all over you. Your makeup will be all over your face, right? Because you have dealt with this person all day long, 8 hours a day, 9 hours, 10, whatever hours a day. And don't believe it. You have it at home too. And then you turn your children into being needy because there's a parent in the house who's like that. And the children emulate us. We don't pay attention to how our children emulate us. We think it's cute. No, it's not cute, especially if you have a lot of negative attributes that they've picked up on. It's not cute. It's sad because what you're doing is you're already a problem, right? So you're creating another problem for someone else to deal with. And we don't think about that either. So if you're an energy vampire and one of the things you do, you're needy, and your children watch and interact with you the way you act, then your children start to become that way too. So you got to figure out if that's what you want to be. Is that who you want to be? Right? You have to figure that out if that's who you want to be. And I don't believe you want to be that person. I really don't. I think you you want to be better, and you want to be able to have the right tools in your toolbox to make sure you're not doing those things that is causing you to be a problem to other people or people be a problem to you. You got to know that. And I know this is a crazy world right now, and everything is. Some people's lives right now are so chaotic, and I feel so sorry for them at times. They don't know which way is up and which way is down, and they don't have anybody to help them, right? They don't have anybody to come in and say, you don't have to react to this the way you're doing. Let's do this. Let's try this. Everybody doesn't have that. And this is why I love being a coach and helping people um, to get through that. Because you know what? I can't tell you about an experience I don't have or know of. It doesn't make any sense for me to pretend like I've done something or been through something or don't know anything about something and then put it in my head and make it up. No, I know what it is. I know what it is to be under a lot of stress. I know what it is to wonder whether or not you have another job. I mean, just in case you lose a job. One of the jobs I did when I lived in, and then this is why I can talk about it. This is why I can relate to being drained. Okay. I was living in Tennessee at the time, and the job that I had was a contracted job, and it was running out, and we had to find other work. So I'm scrambling. Trying to find something. I was stressed. I didn't have at the time. I was in church, so I didn't have, you claim you're supposed to have faith and you're supposed to be patient and you're supposed to just wait. Well, I didn't have that mindset. That was not, I know my rent was due. I had a mouth to feed. I had a car that it needed gas in it and it needed to be maintained. I had insurance to pay. Okay. I had all these things I had to do, just like anybody else did. So sitting around and twiddling my thumbs and just waiting for a job to drop out of the sky was not me. I started hustling. And all that time I was drained. I was exhausted. I was tired. I didn't know. Finally, I got a call for a job. And I was going to go to it because at the time I was living in Clarksville. It was in Nashville. I was used to driving back and forth, 45-minute drive back and forth to Nashville. So I'm trying to get to this job. Everything was going wrong, and it's like my energy was like completely drained out of me. I had a flat tire that day, just like Every little thing that you think could take place to happen, it happened for me. Murphy's Law, I had a Murphy Law day, right? And I was so like, I wanted to just give up, but I couldn't because all I could think of is I have a mouth to feed. All I could think of, I can't get evicted. So all these things went through my mind. So I had to see, how am I going to get through this day? I didn't make it to the interview. Okay. Um, so I think I rescheduled it. I can't remember. I did reschedule it. And then when I got to the job, I was not happy with the job at all. It was not what I thought it was, what they advertised it as. So I'm back to square one, right? Um, so it was like during that time, everything seemed to implode on me. And I didn't know what to do, but I got through it. Okay. I got through it. But I'm telling you this story because that was the time when I say, having the experience, talking to you about this, having that experience of having my energy drained mentally, emotionally, even physically, that happened. So I can't sit here and say, you can do this, you can do that, when I've never experienced it. And if it wasn't for a friend of mine having a good supportive system, if it wasn't for my friend, I think I would have literally gone over. I really believe it. But I had a friend that was able to carry me through, was able to get my head back together, my mindset back together. It was rough. So that's why I can talk to you about having your energy drained. Not it, not anybody doing it to me, but me doing it to myself. Yeah, me doing it to myself. Not nobody else doing it to me doing it to myself. And the choices, okay, that I made, that I thought was the right choice. And that's another thing. We have to look at the things that we decide to do. Um, did we really think them through? Did we do them out of desperation? We make choices, and there's consequences to choices we make hastily, or even when we think about something and still make the wrong choice. It's fine. It's fine. It's the human. That's how we survive. That's how we learn. Some people learn from choices. Some people don't. I'm a type person. I'm gonna learn for something. Okay. If it didn't, okay, I know this don't work, and I know this don't work. I'm gonna try this over here. You have to have that mindset, and sometimes that's hard. So I'm gonna leave you with this before. I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna change subject, but I want to leave you with what I told you earlier that I think you should do whenever you feel like your energy is drained, and the people that you have in your life that drain you. Okay. I'm going to leave you with the breathing exercises. Do it any time of the day you want to. Get up in the morning and do it. Because if you know already your day is going to be hectic, if you have that in your mind, because you got to remember the first thought in your mind is how your day is going to be. If you get up and say, oh my God, here we go again. If you get up and say that, that is exactly the type of day you're going to have. And you can expect that your energy will be drained automatically. Your energy will be drained because you've already put it in motion by those words that came out of your mouth. If you get up in the morning, wow, yay, a great day. I started my great day. And you start saying good things, watch how your day goes. We do not understand how important the words that we use, how they impact us. So just try that. Try that, I'll say, 4 days. 4 days. Do that. I'm just going to put that out there. You guys, my allergies are trying. They're trying me. Okay? Um, but yeah, try that 4 days out of the week. Wake up in the morning in a good mood. and see how the rest of your day goes. And I want y'all to come back and tell me about it. Just try it 4 days out of the week. Try it. I said 3. I just say 4. 4 days out of the week. And tell me how you feel. And don't forget to make sure you are writing down in your journals what is going on. Okay? Remember what I said, that if you want to purchase a journal from me, you can go over. I put the website in the description box. It's not over here in my Talk Shop Live, but it is over on my main webpage under Shop Rituals. That's where my shop is, over there too. You can go over there and you can purchase a downloadable um, blank page journal to start your journaling, right? Um, or you can get a $9.99 value journal um, by joining our Substack, SalitaM.substack page. Okay? All our paid subscribers get a copy of our journal, downloadable journal. You get a newsletter to also go with it. Okay, monthly newsletter. Matter of fact, it's time for November's newsletter to be released. And you get other perks, but though that's one of the main perks I love to tell people about is getting a downloadable journal for free, you know. And then you can add all your journal prompts that we've been using on here or we've been sharing on here in your journal. Yeah. So that right there, I hope this helped somebody. Please let me know if I helped you in some kind of way or another, right? So our journal prompts today, and then at the end, I got a little bonus for you guys, okay? Um, so our journal prompts for today is going to be talking about releasing. And I think I'm trying to figure out if I use some of these prompts already. And I have to go back. If I don't, I'm just going to probably get you some more. So this is talking about for release, getting rid of things, right? That, like we said, weigh you down, right? So the first one is, what am I holding on to that's no longer serving the new version of me? That is the first one. So let's go ahead and type them in here. I don't know why I don't do it before the show. I don't know why. So the first one is, what am I holding on to? What is it that you're holding on to? Could be a person. It could be a situation. Okay, that's no longer benefiting you, especially while you are trying to be a better person or trying to change how you're doing things in your life, right? Um, okay. Number one. Oops. Number two is, what thoughts? What thoughts or beliefs? Beliefs have been dimming my light lately. I like that one. That's a good one. Number three is there a person, habit, or memory I need to lovingly, I love that word, lovingly, release right now. Wow. I'm going to do it very gentle, very nice. Is there a person, habit, or memory I need to lovingly release right now? Don't do it aggressively, but do it lovingly. I like that. Number 4, it says, what version of me am I ready, to say goodbye to? Wow, that's a good one. You know what, y'all? These are really making me like feel bad because these might be ones I need to be answering myself, right? These might be ones that I need to be answering myself. Am I doing them? Not right at this moment, but they definitely make good ones for ones I need to look in. What I do is this is for you because I'm actually in the middle of doing one right now that has about, oh gosh, I think it has like 20 of them that I'm doing for myself. It's for me. So this last question, which is a good one, it says here, what patterns do I keep repeating out of fear or comfort? Oh my God. That is a real good one. What patterns? What are the things that we keep doing over and over again that we need to let go of that's not healthy? I can say like, okay, let me give you one. Somebody who smokes or someone who drinks. Look, do your thing if that's what you want to do. But think about it from this standpoint. Sometimes we don't drink or smoke unless we're stressed, right? Um, and it's our way of dealing with things. I know smokers and I know people who drink that majority of the time they don't drink unless something happens, unless there's a stressful moment that they're going through. So they will drink, right? Or they will smoke. And you like sitting there watching them. Like, okay, so I know something is going on because guess what? Not only have they smoked one cigarette, they smoked 2 cigarettes. Wait a minute, they're about to take another one out the pack. You already know it's something going on, right? Um, I don't know what I do when I'm stressed. Other than I shut down. I think I'm more of a person where I shut down. That gives me time to kind of go inside and break down stuff. And I'm being an overthinker, okay, doesn't help at all either, right? Well, I'm an overthinker. So that doesn't help me at all. Because I will take a situation and I will find 500 ways that I should be able to deal with this situation. Okay, to convince myself that I can do it, right? But that's not how you always have to do it. So you always have to find your own way and make sure it's something positive that you're doing, right? So before we go, we didn't talk about any of the skincare stuff. We will talk about it on our Sunday show. Sunday show. We'll definitely bring the skincare. Maybe I'll do a demonstration on here and show you. I got a little makeup on today. Just a little pressed powder and some eyeshadow. But I can show you a version of me doing my face. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. So let's talk about the bonus we have. I have a good thing that's going to happen. I got to go in there and change the prices. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let me tell you what we're going to do with the wrap dresses because we're doing this promo for November. This is only for the month of November as I know so far. Doesn't mean that it can't change. But for the month of November, we are, dun, dun, we are decreasing the price for our wrap dresses. As you can see, she has my other dress on. See? You can tell she's little, but she has the other dress on, right? And we're doing the dresses now for $59 for the month of November. Um, um, Making that decision was something I had to really think about, um, because what goes into doing all this, the designing and getting it out and doing all that, I had to think about that. And I have some more samples coming along that you will see me in. You're going to get tired of seeing me in these dresses because this is my uniform now, right? This is going to be my uniform from here on out. But no, I have some more coming in, so I'll give you more of a different look of what has already been, the designs, right? So definitely got those coming in. I'm excited about that. So I want to tell you guys, and I don't know if I've actually really talked to you guys about price, how important it is when you price something you're selling, right? And how important it is to know other prices, competitive pricing. Do you understand that dresses, wrap dresses like this, that are name brand, that on the high end, these dresses, on the high end, you can pay up to $600 for these dresses? I know you're like, what? Yes. If they're the original Diana von Furstenberg dress, you can pay from $250 to $600 for this dress. Yeah, we don't think about it like that, right? Um, Other places you can pay for this one dress 125 all the way up to 250 for this dress. And this is my design, okay? This is my design. This is her style, but this is my design. I am almost giving my dresses away, right? So I thought this month would be a great month to come down on the price, and you can get this dress now for $59. Yes. And I should have where is my sound thing where you clap your hands? Woo! Need to have that run, right? So you can get the dress for $59 now. Um, and like I said, if you buy two of them, that's 110. So if you buy two of these dresses, that's only $110. That's less than you would pay for one of the dresses. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that's a great idea? Well, that's where it is. So I will be changing the prices um, in the store. I should have done that before I announced it, but it's not November yet. So I got time to go in there and change the price on the dresses. Um, Now, we hadn't talked about the swimwear since last week. The swimwear is still there. Um, it's still going to be available anytime. I'm probably gonna work on something to um, decrease those prices too, so that I can move them. I gotta get them out of here. I don't have room for any more, so I have to move them, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I need to actually. I'm really like stopped, and I need to move them. And I'll be happy to do that. But yeah, so I thought that That would be a great way of appreciating you guys, especially over here. Taking time out to watch the show. Um, I really appreciate um, all the people who are able to see it over in Fabulous, all over. And my Instagram didn't show up, but usually I'm on Instagram too, I think. But I'm fine with that. Oh, I know why I wasn't on UCN is my other channel that I'm usually on. But the reason why I didn't want to do that because my other podcast is over there. So I didn't want to interfere and have them people watching two different podcasts at the same time. Um, so definitely, 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 I am so happy that I made that. That was like a little tiny decision I needed to make, and I had to weigh the odds and how this is going to do. But when I start actually looking at other prices, like breaking down, and I did this originally. Um, but I wanted to see it from another angle. I told you guys I am the type of person where I got to see it 5,000 ways before I decide whether or not I'm going to do something. How feasible is it for me to do it that way? So, um, coming with $59 was so much more of me feeling relief coming to that number and knowing that that number will work um, for the month of November. Okay. So I'm waiting for my other samples to come in. So I'll be changing up my dresses. And so will she, right? She'll be changing up her dresses too. Um, but yeah. So I am going to go ahead and I hope you guys love that news. I'm going to go ahead and change the prices inside the shop so you guys can see that and go from there. I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me here on Talk Shop Live, Vita One Clothing, and the Midweek Motivation. I hope this helped someone. Please let me know if I helped you in some kind of way. All right, you guys. So you guys have a great night and bye bye.